sometimes I've heard mothers who, I don't know if you've heard something similar, I imagine you might have, where I might get a parent who is very minimizing and invalidating to their child, to say something to the effect
Mhm.
of, they don't have a reason to be depressed or anxious or whatever negative emotion that they're verbalizing to their parent,
Mhm.
because I take care of all the responsibilities.
Mhm.
So then I'm again confronting them, and I'm saying,
Mhm.
listen, but that's not fair. Just because they're a child or they're a teen or what have you, that doesn't mean they're not allowed to express themselves. And quite the contrary, you want them to express themselves. You don't
Mhm.
want them to start keeping stuff from you and start hiding it from you, because
Yeah,
then there's more destructive things that are going to happen down
mhm.
the road.
Yeah, there are some parents who look at it that way, and from my experience of a few parents I remember, I think of now, like it was usually, them thinking of their experience as a child and what they've been through, and
Yep.
how like their child's not going through those things, and their child should be fine. I mean,
Correct.
so that if it's like they're in a better place as far as financially, they're
Hmm.
bringing their child up with things, everything they need. They have everything they want and need. Like when I
Yeah.
was growing up, I didn't have all this stuff. I didn't have my parents there. Like they should be fine.
Right.
The old
Right.
saying like, oh, when I was back in my day, we used to walk
Right.
5 miles to school.
Yeah.
Like,
In the snow.
well, exactly in the snow, yeah. But so like, some kids they rather be online. So,
No, for sure, man.
so
And
yeah.
that's
So
and I like the way you said that, because that's what I mean. It's like I remember hearing those things. I remember even,
mhm,
I used to bring it up, like the expression "be seen, not heard."
yeah.
I should just be handling business, and you should never really hear from me because I don't need anything, unless it's
Mhm,
a dire situation. And
yeah.
it's not fair because it really minimizes the kid's ability to express themselves, or whoever
Mhm,
this person we're referring to,
mhm,
because it's
mhm,
like, well, you don't have adult responsibilities, so you're not allowed,
yeah.
and or you shouldn't.
Mhm,
You and I know about, when
yeah.
we
You
use that term
should.
should.
Mhm,
And I feel like it's just that, to me, especially when it comes to young men, right? Bringing it back to the
mhm,
young men. That's what rubs me so wrong about that situation, because we know, a lot of us know and learn from society's perspective and from our family dynamic perspective, it's already hard for a young man to feel comfortable expressing himself. Number one is his boys probably ain't doing it. He's
mhm,
probably not getting that promoted and encouraged at home. And then
mhm,
even in his society, when he goes to school, when he goes to work, people are not going to promote and encourage him always, the vast majority, not
yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
to feel comfortable to actually say what he's actually feeling. So it's already hard enough with all the other partners involved who make it difficult for us to be open and really want to do the work to learn how to do that. And
Mhm,
so to me, it's fundamental for us when we're young, if we really want to change this narrative, for those of us that do this work or for those of us that are parents, we got to start with the kids when they're younger and
yeah.
never make them feel like they're not allowed to experience anything, and not,
Mhm,
and certainly not share what they're feeling with anybody, because that is where all that starts. Like how we get
mhm,
on that path, kind of, I won't say of no return, but it's much more difficult, you and I both know, once we're older, to kind of curb old habits and
yeah.
change our
Yeah.
perspective, because we've been
Yeah.
rooted in it for so long.
Mhm. Yeah, you rooted in it, and whatever you've been doing, you're thinking, oh, well, it worked. It got me here, so why should I change it? So, yeah,
Yeah.
which can be difficult.
Just,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep,
man.
the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So.
Yeah. I'm like, I believe we can, but it's just really hard. It's really
Yeah,
hard. If
it may
you
take a little longer.
been like
So,
that for 40, 50 years, you're like, man, what's this guy gonna tell me? He don't know what he's talking about.
yeah,
Or
it's like when I try to teach my grandparents something with the phone or a computer or tablet, but I realize like when you like my grandpa, when I show him something, oh, he gets it. Like I show it to him, can't tell him on
yeah,
the phone, but I can show it to him, just walk him through it, he got it.
yeah.
So, yeah, so it all
That
depends, how
that's
that old dog
and
is.
what you're talking about there, demonstrating it, right? That's
Hmm.
exactly what we got to do with the young ones.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
demonstrate it with our actions, right? Because we know they're gonna learn not only from explicit instruction, but what they observe, how
Hmm.
we are.
Hmm.
Like you were mentioning earlier about observing your father and your grandfather and the way that they conducted themselves. You
Hmm.
got the examples, even if they didn't tell you, this is how a man talks, this is how a
Hmm.
man walks, this is how a man communicates with folks. They
Hmm.
may have done
Hmm.
that, but even if they
Yeah.
didn't, you observed it. And you're like,
Hmm.
yeah, that is, yeah, that I need to be like that. As
Yeah.
opposed to, if we were out here and I'm out here screaming at my lady, we getting into fights, stuff like that, I normalized all of that for them,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So then they think that that's the way that we're supposed to behave. And I think this is
Hmm.
our moment and our opportunity, because there's a resurgence in talking about mental health, particularly in our community, to start working with the youth and making
Hmm.
sure they understand a lot of the things that have been normalized in our community is not the healthiest. And
No.
this is our opportunity to start to rewrite what that should be so that
Yep.
the next generation, like my son's generation, they don't have to have a level of difficulty and challenge that we have maybe had to experience so far.